We look at an issue that places a serious question mark over the country's energy sector and its administration.
Action TV has the details.
Prior to the electricity tariff hike in May last year, the Ceylon Electricity Board submitted an expenditure estimate of 256 billion rupees to the Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka. While the PUCSL slashed 31 billion rupees from this expenditure estimate, the CEB did not oppose the move. The PUCSL determined that if the CEB manages power generation efficiently, expenditure of between 180 and 200 billion rupees would be sufficient. 90% of the CEB's costs are taken up by electricity generation. As such, if the CEB were to manage this task efficiently, it would be able to free itself of the continuous losses it has incurred and stop being dependent on the treasury. The situation that has arisen today proves that the senior management of the CEB have not conceptualized or set such a goal. The inactive state of the Norachole coal power station and the Kalanithissa combined cycle power station at present has cost the national grid 420 megawatts. The semi-functional state of the new Laksapana and Canyon hydro power stations, meanwhile, has cost the national grid 160 megawatts. Steps taken by the CEB to empty the Mausakali reservoir in order to more efficiently inspect a leak at the reservoir that has been prevailing for several years incidentally caused the semi-functional state of the new Lakshapana and Canyon power stations. Electricity generation at the Victoria, Kotmale, Kukuleganga and Pulpiti hydropower stations meanwhile has been halved. The CEB, which has guaranteed that it will not leave the nation in darkness, is now incurring an additional cost of 160 million rupees a day in order to provide light. These public funds are flowing into the pockets of the owners of private power stations. Although the Cabinet of Ministers decided in May last year to amend agreements between the CEB and these privately held power stations due to their disadvantageous nature, this decision is yet to be implemented. The CEB, which is bound by these agreements to pay a sum of money to these privately held power stations, whether it purchases electricity from them or not, has to bear a cost of about 35 billion rupees annually for this purpose. In such a backdrop, the fact that several power plants under the purview of the CEB became inactive at the same time, and the fact that several other power stations are semi-functional, makes it evident that a mountain of public funds disproportionate to electricity generation is going to waste. The current breakdown at the Norachole coal power station, which was inactive for 271 days last year, means that a unit of electricity which could be produced at a cost of between 8 and 9 rupees is now being purchased from private power stations at between 19 and 23 rupees. While the Norachole power plant, which should be maintained by mechanical engineers, keeps breaking down under the supervision of electrical engineers, the same electrical engineers at the CEB are the ones who make ad hoc decisions to empty reservoirs of hydropower stations. Obtaining a response to inquiries made in this regard is no easy task. The fact that this attitude has trickled down becomes evident when considering the fact that the head of the Norachole power station and a group of engineers at the power station have made preparations for a trip to Japan from today, while they have a clear responsibility to expeditiously restore operations at the Norachole power station and stop the wastage of public funds. While efforts made to ensure an uninterrupted power supply to the country should be appreciated, can the imperative national need to inquire into the propriety of the procedure followed by the CEB to achieve this be disregarded? Secretary to the President, this is over to you.